Drawing 9, 4-piece 60-degree elbow. This one here is going to be obviously different than the 3-piece because it's got the extra gore in here. So let's go ahead and start looking at the layout. For this one here, just double check all your dimensions that it matches this drawing. So 140 is going to be 140. This is actually to scale, but it's reduced to fit onto the page. And your 105 and your 70. And making sure it's 60 degrees. So use your 30-60 here to make sure it's 60. I'm going to split this in half to get your 30. And then to get the 10, probably the easiest thing to do would just be use your protractor and just mark the 10 on there. So there's your 30, you got 50 here and 60. That'd be the easiest thing to do to get those. We don't need a line in the middle of the big gores. Then as you create your inside radius, centerline radius, and outside radius, so as soon as you can get your lengths here, your 140s and your 70s in your center, as it intersects here, you can just square off that way, and then square up where it hits there. The easiest thing to do to get this point out over here, just because it doesn't run square off of there, you could put a center line here and it would square off the center line. That would work. But the other easier thing to do might be just to take this length from here and put a mark here, and then with that at that same length, then you can just connect that line and connect that line. Then that's done. From there we need to put our element lines on. So we're going to do our half circle down below. This is a 70mm cylinder here, so 35 to center. So we're going to keep it fairly close down, so I'm going to do a base line here. We'll just come up 40, and then we'll just keep it fairly tight to the left, so we'll just go 10mm in here. So I just went to 150 for our 140. And that keeps us tight over here. For our pattern over here, we've got a little bit of math here. So as soon as we figured out our 10 degrees, our pattern angle, what actually came off this math over here. So remember the elbow in degrees is 60 degrees. And we're going to divide it by the number of pieces. This is a 4-piece, times 2 minus 2. So 4 times 2 is 8, minus 2 is 6. 60 divided by 6 equals 10 degrees per part for the pattern. Now since it's 10 degrees, and we know, actually this should be 105. 105 here. To center, we can tangent this 10 degrees here, times 105 will equal the 18.5. Let's just double check that. 18.5, and yes it does. For this pattern over here, we're going to have to multiply that by 6 because of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So remember our tangent lines and our miter lines. So our tangent lines would be the middle here, and our miter lines will be here. So we're going to have to populate that coming up here. Times that by 6 is 111. So I've created this up here. So we may as well actually even just go ahead and do this. So our first one's going to be at 18.5. And then what we can do, 18.5 plus 18.5, we got 37 plus 18.5, 55.5 plus 18.5, 74 plus 18.5, 92.5, right there. So we're going to have our miter line. This one will be a miter. This one will be a tangent. This one will be a miter. This one will be a tangent. And this one will be a miter. We'll get to laying this out in just a moment here. And our stretch out here is going to be our 70. So we have our 70 diameter times pi is 220. There's our 220. Now this one here, we got lots of room on the page. I just ended up coming down 50 and I came over 70 from this side. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to hit here. We got lots of room right here. Okay. And we're almost ready to start putting up all our element lines. We'll have to do this. So let's go ahead and bring these element lines up. This is up your half circle here. And again, we divide this into 6. Some of the plumbers would divide this into 8 just so they have a 45 and then they'll have the 22.5. It could be a little more accurate. It's just a lot more layout to do a 45 and then cut it in half. It's just easier to use the radius, step over and then step over from the other side. So it's just easier to do that. Okay, we need 12 equal spaces across here. So this is 220 across. So 12 times 20 would be 240, so that's longer than this dimension. So I think we can just do a sloping line at 240. I don't have to go inside here, I don't want to muck all that up. So I'm going to go outside here. So I'm going to extend this line down, bring this over, it's 240, right on the 0 here, and we're going to go every 20. 20, 40, 60, 80, so on and so forth, every 20. Okay, and we can bring those all the way up now. And we'll number this in just a moment. Let's see which one's longer here. I guess I really don't need to go all the way down, do I? It's amazing how the paper has a grit to it, so spinning that pencil keeps it sharp. Can't always spin the pencil, but when you can, it just keeps that sharpened up there. Okay, we may as well bring over these miter lines and tangent lines. we'll do the numbering. Okay, let's do some numbering here. We'll just call this 1 the shortest one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, just having a look at the pattern here, this is the pattern at the end. You're going to notice this bottom pattern. It's the same as the top pattern, but it's reversed over. So this is actually over here. So whatever we number down here is going to be different at the top. So that's something to be concerned about. So depending on how we go about laying this out and spacing these out, there's a couple different ways to do it. I think it'll be easiest to come off this tangent line and come this way and this way and this way. So that would be the easiest thing to do. And then that'll naturally just happen down below here. Again, I guess well, if I flip this over, it'll be the same over here. So we can keep this as 1 here, and this is 4 here, so 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we can just use this here, and then when we come to here, we can just step this way and then step that way. Versus having to use the numbers over here for reverse down below. Which you could. You could take all these numbers on the top, reverse them down below, and you could come up this way. The only problem is you're only going to get this one, and you still have to do this one anyway. So you may as well just go ahead and put that tangent mark on there and step up from either side. So the easiest thing to do just be 4, because your 4 is always your height there. Where your seam is, this is the seam location, and it gets reversed 180 every time. And again, we'll just go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start populating these. So we'll just start with 4 here. And what we'll do is we'll just come over to this layout over here. And we'll do 4. So 4 has got a lot of locations. That should line up. Yes, it does. So that lines up there and there. So there's our miter line, so we don't have to worry about that over there or that there. So 4 is done. 3 going to be a little bit shorter. There's 3 there. Again, we'll just come off this tangent here. So what we'll do is a 3 here. And we'll spin this down and do the 3 over here. Now you can see this is obviously taller than over there, so the opposite of 3 is 5, so this would be the 5 down below. So let's go ahead and do the 2 here. A little bit shorter. And again, the more pieces you have, obviously the more patterns, the more gores there will be. So you'll just be doing this more times. Oh, and I forgot my 3 over here, didn't I? I have to go back and oh. Go back and get that one after. Okay, we'll do the 1. So obviously time consuming. It's a lot of back and forth. The only faster method would just be obviously a software program, Design to Fab or metalgeek.com. That's a couple websites out there that make patterns, and also on your cell phone there's some apps there as well. Okay, we'll do number 5. But it is nice to be able to lay out when things go sideways in the shop and the computer is not cooperating. Okay, always make sure to come off the baseline. I've had it where some students have come off of here before they took the measurement from the wrong spot. Easily happen. Oh, and I forgot the 5, didn't I? Too busy talking. Let's get the 6 here. And the 7. We'll go back and fix up that other 5 there that we missed. And we'll pick up that 5 again. Alright, we're almost ready for the snake here, so obviously the 4s are right on the intersection there. And here, and here, and here, and here. Okay, let's go ahead and snake that in. Slide that down. Hopefully that one snake matches in there. Already put a curve to it. And again, just trying to be as accurately as possible. You can see I'm a little bit out, but my eyes are fairly far away from the page, just because I'm trying to navigate around this GoPro here. Let's see, something like that. There we go. So this is the opposite of this one over here. And then this is the opposite of this one over here. There's our miter lines here and here. So the 4s all line up. Now let's go ahead and we can label this up. Again, just your name. date it was made. These could be patterns or templates that are kept for a long time. The 4-piece 60-degree elbow. This is drawing 9. And this is a full pattern. And our forming directions. Maybe I can put this down here. Form to, and this will get rolled as one piece and then cut after. So form to 70. So that can all be done on the press brake or the rolls. You could slot cut those, roll it, and then cut it apart after that. We could have a 1 of 4. Two of 4, 3 of 4, and a 4 of 4 to make a complete unit. Okay, so we go ahead and we can put our quarter marks on here. Very important to lay out your center lines with everything flat. Real difficult to do after it's rolled up with the flexible tape. Everything stretches. It's hard to line everything up. So lay everything out flat. It's just makes life a lot easier. Okay, so our shear lines here, we're going to be shearing here. Shearing here. This is obviously a rectangle here, pretty easy shear, and then our burn lines. So we've talked about this before, about sometimes leaving space between our patterns for the kerf of our cut. And then once that's done, you can check your pattern here, just making sure that it lines up, it's the same size. Put it up against a window, piece of glass with a light behind it, and you can see how accurately you went ahead and done that. So that is it. That's the 4-piece elbow there. So drawing number 9. Very good. Thank you.